Hey, what up guys? How you doing? It is Lasty here. Welcome today to a new episode of The Road to Glory here on FIFA 20 Ultimate Team. This is episode number 38 and it's also Sunday. So I hope you're having a nice, chilled, relaxed Sunday. Enjoy your weekend with a little dose of The Road to Glory. And if you do enjoy, do me a massive favour. Hit that thumbs up button. I'd love it if we could get anywhere near 4,000 likes for this episode. Go for it. Smash that thumbs up. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. Click the notification bell. Become part of the notification squad. So, in yesterday's episode, we ended off by basically going 3-0 in the weekend league to start things off. And I decided that I think I'd be doing myself a disservice if I didn't bring Lewandowski into the squad. He's like red Lewandowski. Like, I should be using that, I think, anyway. So, with the coins at my disposal, I decided to go out and buy a Marco Reus. I got him for 262 at the time. That was a very, very good price. Not sure if it is now or not. But yeah, I wanted to bring Lewandowski and Reus into the squad, but of course we are going to have to make sacrifices to do that. Now, I've been really gelling with my current squad, so it is a little bit meh to say goodbye to it, but I also think having a proper default striker in Lewandowski up front could be the one, and in order to do that we are going to make some changes. So we go out and buy a Serge Gnabry, who is absolutely bossing it IRL, so hopefully his card is just as good on FIFA, right? And the reason I wanted Reus in, he's going to be one of my wide players, and I gave him an engine so that he's got like ridiculous pace, dribbling and passing. So Mertens is going to go. We're going to break even or make a little bit of profit on him even, and then again, similar story with Insigne, probably just about losing a couple of K after tax, and then Alan is also going to have to go, and we're going to lose a little bit on him just because his market value has dipped a little bit in that time. But I've got what I think are going to be some pretty good replacements, so you can see most of them on screen right now, and once Mertens and Alan had sold, we'd actually got enough coins to go out and buy the in-form version of Frankie de Jong. If you know what I say about Pep being my like proper drop back, come back on defense, sit between the defenders, real CDM in the 4-4-2, I want Frankie de Jong to be my ball player, and you know he's got amazing dribbling and passing. We're still going to get in there with the anchor chemistry style, so his pace, defending and physical are going to be up there, so he should be able to make tackles just like Alan, but yeah, he's just going to be a bit more of a ball player in the middle. So this is the new look squad. It's quite fierce with a red 90 rated player up front, and of course we've got Neymar, we've got Reus, we've got Frankie, we've got an icon in Pep Guardiola, as well as Serge Gnabry coming into the side as well. Like, I think that's pretty good. So obviously, like, Gnabry's going to play out wide, Reus is going to play out wide, Frankie and Pep are going to be my two centre mids, and then Lewandowski and Neymar are going to be my strikers. So it's what I think a very, very nice team. So I go into my first game of the day in the weekend league, just going in cold, you know, no warm-up games, nothing like that. We just go on in and use these first few games as our warm-up. And we score with Neymar after 4 or 5 minutes. So good start from the Brazilian. He is the best player I have used on this game, without a doubt. Now, my opponent had regular Lewandowski, and he was troublesome. And every time I come up against a regular Lewandowski, or even the Player of the Month one, I do always find him fairly difficult to defend against, and there's goals go in because he's just obviously so clinical with the ball at his feet. So that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping to get used to him. I understand that what I've done here is made team changes mid-weekend league, which is never really a massively smart idea, but I've done that, and I'm hoping that we can just get used to it nice and fast. Lewandowski actually gets his first goal for the club. The composure, the strength to hold off the defender, and the ability to score the goal there is pretty much all I'm looking for in this striker, and I want him to work well with Neymar up top as well. So we come away with a 2-0 win in what was actually a pretty tough first game of the day. As you can see, we really didn't get that many chances, but the chances we did get, we pretty much scored them. So happy about that. So we are now 4-0, and then 1 draw, which got disconnected, so it never counted. And then we go into this game right here. He's done the icon Crespo, so he's grinded all of them out. He's also got Neymar. He's got Ousmane Dembele. I know that by the looks of this team, this is super meta. Like, this guy knows what he's doing, and I need to be careful. Now, for the first, I scored this goal off the run of play. This is the only shot I have in the first half, and we are able to score it. At half time, he had 60% possession, 10 shots on goal. I had 40% possession, 1 shot on goal, and I was 1-0 up. I was getting completely and utterly destroyed, but the one thing my opponent couldn't do was actually finish his dinner. He couldn't actually be clinical enough to score the goals, whether or not my players were blocking it or I was making some clutch tackles. Basically, he had to go super offensive towards the end of the game, and as you can see there, we can counter him. We actually scored a goal with substitute Ousmane Dembele. Look at those stats. In terms of a game which I did not deserve to win, this is probably the craziest game I've ever played. I had nothing, and I somehow won 2-0. So I was feeling really, really fortunate. Yeah, we move on into the next one, and this is against PEK United. He's got a nice team. I can tell, again, just by the players that he's got there. Pretty meta. He's probably not spent any money. He's just probably got a nice grinded team put together there. And not Lewandowski, Lacazette is so unfortunate to not end up scoring there to put my opponent 1-0 up. It's kind of crazy how that one went wide. But as you can see, Lewandowski's putting in work. He plays it into Neymar, and I strike it to go 1-0 up. Again, against the run of play. These last couple of games, I have been faced up against opponents that I think are above my skill level. Somehow in this one, we've come away, 1-0 up at the halftime break, and things are looking good. Moving on into the second half then, as you can see, his defense just parts like the seas. I knock it into Lewa and score the green time finesse, and that is a very clinical strike from the Polish striker. That is, again, just what I need. I need him to do that. If he's scoring goals, I don't necessarily care that he's not as fast and as agile as what Mertens was. I just need him to be clinical for me when the situations arise. So we're 2-0 up in a game that we are definitely struggling in. So I was just hoping that it could be like the last game and we could keep that lead. It didn't last very long from the 2-0 goal. He literally scores what I think it was a kickoff goal. I can't quite remember the timings, but it was very soon after I scored. And then Goretzka pushes through here, and look at this. I make a couple of challenges, and somehow he just rides them out, and the goalkeeper stood there, and the ball just goes in the back of the net. I felt so hard done by with that shot and that whole run. It was unreal. And then right at the very end, my opponent gets through again. The player switching was just abysmal, and I end up getting shushed on because he scored to win the game. At this point, obviously, I had to just throw everything out there. He hits me on one little break, knocks it across, and Felipe Anderson can make it 4-2. I was 2-0 up in that game. That is one hell of a comeback. And, in all honesty, I think I deserve to lose that game, and I also deserve to lose the game before that. So I can take this loss here. Look, I got dominated once again. But to be 2-0 up, that's the salty part. That's the bit which kind of hurts, because I was 2-0 up. Maybe if I could have just held on, we'd have got another lucky win. Then we come up against our 5 at the back squad. So what are we currently? Are we 4-1 or 5-1 or something? So not a bad start to the weekend league. This guy actually stayed 5 at the back for the whole game. So this was his actual technique, was to use the 5 at the back formation, which is not very common, to the point where I don't find that to be a massive issue nowadays. It's more the drop back 1 depth on any other formation that I find to be a problem. But he had the wiggly agile players up front, right? And it was Mertens that ends up getting through and scoring the goal to equalise after 57 minutes. And then my opponent tries to go 2-1 up, but we're going to counter from this corner. Royce is going to knock it, a lovely ball through to Neymar. Look at that for a pass. Neymar's got the pace. He's got to try and burn Alejandro Gomez, which he successfully does. Knocks it to the back post. Substitute Ousmane Dembele puts me 2-1 up after 76. So that was nice. That was a hell of a counter from the corner kick that my opponent had. He started to apply the pressure towards the end, and what turns out to be a pretty even game. I only had 2 shots on target. I need to up that. I think I hit the post 2 or 3 times in that match, and it wasn't nice. But yeah, we eventually end up scoring the goal to win the match, and that is all she wrote. So next match we go into then. Premier League side, not the greatest of Prem teams, I'm not going to lie. He's even got a lone Salah in there. Doesn't matter that he's alone. He's going to be a full version of Salah for this game right here, so I need to be careful of that, knowing how good he is on this game. And it took me 32 or 33 minutes to like actually open the deadlock or break the deadlock in this game. Neymar finally turning a couple of times and getting enough space to whip that finesse shot off to put me 1-0 up. However, like there were multiple times where I thought I tackled or did the right thing here, and the ball just still ends up like flying in the back of the net from Naby Keita. You got to just let them happen, because sometimes you'll end up getting fortunate yourself down the other end. And as you can see here, Lewa plays it out wide to Gnabry. Good save from the goalkeeper, but Royce is there to strike it once, twice. Like, eventually the bobble's going to fall to me, and eventually I scored. So Royce gets a goal for the club there to put me 2-1 up. And, well, I think I'm about to make it 3-1 in this game, because Neymar's on the run. Little Berber spin inside. Heel click. Keep on running. He's trying to bring that defender back, but he's left that near post exposed, so I can just smash it in the top corner. Go 3-1 up, and that is going to trigger a rage quit for my opponent. So, yeah, like every single game so far today, you can probably tell, has been a bit of a war. Now, I don't know whether that's because, like, I am trying to just get used to a new team. Players aren't making the exact same runs. I would say that I actually really like Royce. Unfortunately, he doesn't really do too much for the club because he's a wide player in a 4-4-2. But then, like, I don't really like Gnabry. I don't think he's doing a whole bunch. With the way that the team is set up right now, I could bring Jadon Sancho in, because what I'm looking for is a pacey, very agile, crazy dribbling player that's got good passing. And both Gnabry and Jadon Sancho have got pretty poor passing, but I think Jadon's might be a little bit better. I'm not sure. Hopefully there's a nice player that gets an inform or something that we can make work. Or we could alternatively play Royce on 8 chemistry and just bring Ousmane Dembele back into that right mid spot in the 4-5-1 to get the link from Semedo. So I could do that, but I didn't want to off the bat. I obviously wanted to give the full chemistry team a try off the get-go. But I might do that actually for a future episode. I might just bring Ousmane back, because he is the one that's getting, when I bring him on as a substitute, he's been doing work for me. So he's actually been scoring goals and stuff. So I'm 2-1 up in this game, but it is a tricky Timo Werner that is always scoring against me. No matter how many times I play him, I can't defend against him. He is a very troublesome player for me to try and actually defend against. And this game goes to extra time, and in extra time, my opponent's defender makes a bit of a mess up. Fortunately, Neymar is just somehow able to not lose the ball due to like being outstrengthed. He gets through, scores the goal, we go 3-2 up. Royce is then running down the wing to try and make this one 4-2. I need this game to just be over and done with. And Pep Guardiola is the man to score a second goal of the game. Like, I never expect him to score that many. And he's actually got himself a brace in this match. And that, of course, then leads to my opponent just deciding, hey, you know what? I'm out of here. I'm 4-2 down in extra time. Probably not going to come back in this game. So we get another victory, and that brings us up to 8 wins. So not a bad place to stop for today. That was 5. I think we've gone 5-1 in today's episode, so not too bad at all. We've ended up getting ourselves some of the seasonal objectives completed. I completed week 4 bronze without even thinking about it. I didn't even look at what the objectives were. And of course, the daily objectives get completed as well, because we bought players, because we bought a new team, and of course we played games and won games. So now we've got week 4 silver to play for, and I'll do that in the next episode. That will just, again, probably happen by me just playing the game. As you can see, I've nearly done most of them. So that's great. But in the season progress, we move up to level 23 and quite close to level 24, actually. We got a lot of XP recently, and that is of course going to unlock us a rare Electrum players pack. Something nice to open for the end of the episode anyway, isn't it? So from the rare Electrum, we are going to get ourselves a crazy walkout player. Actually, no, wait, no, the animation's moving too fast, and I'm not going to get anything. What's happened to my pack luck? It's been a day since I packed something good. Come on, EA. No, I'm joking. Yeah, it's just obviously not really paid out for us in today, but it's a free pack that we got for just literally playing the game, so I'll take it. And there's some 82s in there and some silvers that will no doubt be kind of useful along the way. So yeah, that one is basically going to end up today's episode. Let me know what you think of the new look side. So what I did was I bought the Inform Frankie simply because that was the coins I had at the time, but I still had Insigne and also Koulibaly to sell on the market. And what I think I'm probably going to do, because there's not a huge amount of difference in the two's prices, it's about 45k or something. I'll probably upgrade Frankie, who I'm really enjoying, by the way. I'll upgrade Frankie from the inform version to the ones to watch version, just because there's always a chance at that point that we could make bank should he put in a good performance somewhere along the line. So yeah, like I'll go ahead and do that, and unless one of you lets me know that maybe he's injured, or I don't know, like I hope he's not, but yeah, like I'll upgrade Frankie like that. Lewandowski has a fairly slow start, I would say, in terms of goal scoring, but he's assisting, and I think he's kind of doing his job pretty well. So I am enjoying him and Royce. I'd say out of the new players, the one I'm not really loving is Serge Gnabry. The rest of them, Frankie de Jong at 180k, Royce at 260k, and Lewandowski at priceless because he's red, are enjoyable players to use. So they may not be Allen, Insigne, and Mertens, who were pretty meta players, but they are something different, and I think they bring what I need to the team. Royce has got a lot more quality out there on that wide side, probably better than Insigne in my opinion. Frankie de Jong, more of a ball player and an actual centre mid in that midfield next to Pep Guardiola than what I think Allen was. Allen again is kind of a CDM, and then up front Lewandowski, that's just a proper striker. He hasn't got amazing pace, but we've given him the engine chem style to try and make him feel quicker, more agile, and to have better passing, because his shooting is already amazing and he can outlay that ball to Neymar and just work well in that two-striker formation. So I think that's going to work for us. I hope so anyway, and we will continue. It's been doing all right for us today. The games have been a grind, but we've been coming away with victories there. So we are 8-1 right now, doing pretty well. You'll see more action from the Weekend League in tomorrow's episode, but do me a massive favor, smash that like button today. I'd love to see us hit 4,000 likes on this Sunday. Don't forget, of course, to subscribe to the channel if you're new. You can, of course, follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Those links are down below. And most importantly, I hope you all have a wonderful day. I'll catch you tomorrow with another video. Peace.